A familiar threat along the border is causing concern for a Valley law enforcement agency.
Channel 5's Rudy Mireles tells us it's not so much the weapon being used, it's the way it's being used.
City Hall, historic buildings, a well-known stop for tourists. They flock to Roma for bird watching. That picture partially masks what's going on in the city. Roma's historic district is known for its beautiful, unobstructed view of the Rio Grande. The same view leaves law enforcement open to an unexpected threat. Roma Assistant Chief of Police Francisco Garcia says 2 of his officers experienced a common attack from across the border. Garcia says someone is using laser pointers from across the river. That's happened before. This time, this attack stands out for a different reason.
What had us a little bit more concerned this time that both officers were hit, one right after another, directly to the eyes. It wasn't like a laser just bouncing around when you're normally holding it in your hand. This was too direct to the officer's eyes.
Weapons expert Brian Guerra says the distance of that incident and steadiness of the laser isn't found in average laser pointers.
300 to 500 meters is a pretty far distance and pretty difficult to do unless you're talking about very large military grade vehicle mounted or weapon mounted.
The lasers sent Garcia's officers to the hospital for evaluation. Both were released the same day. Dr. Neil Patel says lasers at a high intensity similar to the one described by officers could cause lasting damage if not evaluated.
It gets focused onto a point of the retina that sees the best. And if this laser energy is very strong and it's of excessive density, and you get exposed to that laser, or if you're looking at that laser light for a prolonged period of time, it can cause a burn on the retina.
For now, Garcia's officers will continue to patrol. They remain committed to keeping illegal activity off their part of the border. Garcia says state and federal law enforcement experienced the bouncing lasers as well. That means those lasers were likely handheld. He communicated with both state and federal law enforcement about this incident. He says they told him the steady laser is new for them as well. In the studio, Rudy Mireles, Channel 5 News at 6.